Good afternoon, everybody. Today I would like to introduce some of the most prettiest agave that they are technically native to Americas and Caribbean. This family approximately has 250 species in total. This plant loves hot and dry climate and can survive on very little water. So means lacking of watering it is not going to be an issue in the life of this plant. There are very slow growing plants and sometimes they usually called century plant. That means takes about a century to grow. The succulent leaves have flat and long branches, and on the edge there are sharp teeth, and sometimes in some of the varieties the needle is on the end of the leaf. These plants are blooming and the blooms are range in color, generally greenish, yellowish, reddish, and they are generally grows off the stem. The height of the stems that the flower grows on generally reaches 40 feet, and that takes about 30 years to happen. That is in some of the varieties, not all the agaves. For example, one of the simple example of this type of blooming is on the Agave Americana, that it grows very giant, as you see, and they become very beautiful, and every little pop that is on the edge of this stem, they can be picked and regrown. There is sometime in some of these varieties there are something happening that is sort of very interesting. The name of this process called monocarpic plant means the plant flowers and seeds and only leaves once. Thereafter, the plant dies. But the baby and pups that grows around the plant start growing and substituting the main plant. So from one plant that it goes out of the cycle, there is more plant start growing around it. Now I'm going to introduce every of these plants differently. The first one is known as Agave Potato. This agave, also known as butterfly, it grows in the desert areas of Mexico and can be grown to 1 to 2 feet tall. I show you on the top corner a picture of the another one that is about over a feet tall. The second one is Agave Filifera. This agave also known as thread agave. Why they call it thread? As you see, there is little fuzzy things that grows on the edge of the agave. It's technically very strong, very sharp on the end, and this particular one grows in the central Mexico and can grow to up to 2 feet, perhaps sometimes 3 feet tall. The third one is called Agave Cisalana. Cisalana is a very beautiful agave. It grows about approximately 1 meter tall, and it can be used compact in the house as a decorative item. The fourth one is pretty popular. This one has a little bit of the uh, damages on the edge of the leaves, as you see, because it was not cared enough, but is known as Agave Peri. Agave Peri is very desirable, very good, also known as mezcal agave. It's a very strong agave and valuable. Also, another name that exists for this plant known as Agave Hachosensis. This particular one that has little bit of the damages on the leaves because of too much rain and cold, known as blue glow agave or century plant, means it takes many years to grow and reach very big size. It is a hybrid between two different agave, Agave atunata and Agave aquae. It is the hybrid plant. This particular one known as Agave Mitas or Mitas, also known as Agave celsi. It grows to 2 feet long on the branches or leaves and is native to Mexico. It's nice green color agave and very strong. This particular one is one of the beautiful agave known as Bloodspot. As you see, there are red spots on the leaves and has a very sharp teeth on the end of the leaves. It's a gorgeous agave, also known as Japanese. This particular one is a hybrid between two different plants. One is agave and another one is entirely a different plant. The first agave known as Macroconta, and the second plant, which is not agave, is known as Manfredra, which is entirely a different species. Is among the very desirable agave, has a very much name in the entire life of 250 species of the agave, and it is gorgeous and strong. It grows up to 1 to 2 feet tall, and the flowers on this plant I have not really seen yet, but it is sort of reddish color. This particular one, which is known as Agave Aplanta, Agave Aplanta or cream spike, it is a dwarf agave. Has a very gorgeous body structure, very sharp needle, which is purplish color, and the variegation on the edge of the leaves gives the plant a sort of very beautiful, gorgeous color. Generally, this agave grows in certain part of the Mexico, or perhaps other part of the Americas. It is growing up to 2 feet, as I had said, 2 feet wide, and is among the dwarf plant or dwarf agave. This particular one, which has a very long leaves and very strong plant, known as Agave Estricta. Agave Estricta, also known as hedgehog. Hedgehog agave grows in Mexico. It is native to Mexico and grows up to 2 feet tall. This particular one, known as Agave Leopoldi or Leopoldi. This agave is a hybrid between two different agave, Agave Scheidegera and Agave Filifera, which I just showed you Filifera. The differences between this one and Filifera, that Filifera, it has a wider leaves, and this particular one has a very skinny and firm leaves. It grows up to 1 to 2 feet tall, and it is among the compact type of the agave. The very last one that is among the very valuable agaves is known as Agave Victoria Regina. Agave Victoria Regina is very slow growing. It doesn't really grow very giant. It is native to Mexico, to Chihuahua desert. Agave Victoria Regina has a very strong leaves, very firm, and has a very nice variegation of white throughout the leaf, as you see, and has a very pointy needle on the end. This particular one probably is about over 10 years old. They are not really potentially grow very fast. But this agave can have variegation of the yellow, white, and sometimes I have seen sort of bluish color. This is the yellow variegated agave, is among the very good, rare species, hard to find, but sometimes there are availability exists and sometimes doesn't. In general, this family are among the beautiful plant for landscaping design or decoration in the backyards. They are not a type of maintenance plant. They are very good and strong and has a very beautiful, colorful pattern on the leaves. Earlier in this video, I showed you this particular agave known as Agave Leopoldi. It's one of the very beautiful, as I have said, but I have brought a couple of beautiful variety of this particular one known as Agave Leopoldi compacta, which is very small agave, is a miniature, is the same thing as the other one, except the leaves are much stronger and also is extremely slow grower and very rough. So it takes years and years and years. Probably this one is about approximately, I can simply say 12 years old, and it is not really growing that much, and it doesn't grow big either. So it's about 4-inch diameter and 3-inch tall. But the other one can get very giant. I also brought another agave, which is the buds of the one that we have spoke earlier, which you see on the right corner of this screen. This is one of those babies on the side that I have cut and propagated. So I left them in the greenhouse until it's rooted. So I decided to go to the greenhouse and bring them here and add to my video that you guys enjoy seeing it. However, this concludes my video today about agave family. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please push the button and like my video, and leave me a comment on any of these if you do have a question. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it, and suggest my channel with your friends and relatives. I try to intend to do a very beautiful exploration between agave and aloe, which I have posted about 2-3 weeks ago, and show you the differences and one by one explain about each and every of these families. Thank you very much for watching my videos. I appreciate it, your time and your kindness that you are all giving me and watching my videos. Thank you.